Welcome back to Hornets Nest in Charlotte, North Carolina for the third and final round of this year's Charlotte Roar presented by Greatest Media Team. Before we get started, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors for this event, including Grip Equipment, Discmania, Disc Golf 978. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Tyler Wozniak. How's it going, Tyler?
What is up, Nathan? It is so cool to be back with you guys, and we're here for the final round. All right, we got some studs on the card today and some studs leading this tournament. One, Paul Ulibarri, 3 strokes ahead of the rest of the field. Anthony Anselmo, Nathan Queen, Adam Cruz, Dan Hastings, and Austin Turner all fighting for a top 3 spot as well.
Yeah, should be exciting to see how this one finishes out. We're going to have a close race all the way down to the finish here at Hornets Nest, playing the same layout that you all saw for round 1. So let's get right into it with hole 1. We have a par 3 here, 380 feet. Most right-hand, backhand players are going to look to drift something ever so slightly from left to right through this main gap that the drone is about to fly through now. Something with a little bit of stability will hook up back at the end for you. Pretty daunting starting hole with a very tight tunnel the whole way to the basket. We'll see how these players do.
Yeah, on the first round, we didn't see anybody get through, so let's see if anybody stripes this all the way down the fairway.
All right, up first for your lead card, we have Paul Ulibarri from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Paul Ulibarri leading the way in this tournament after a great first round here at Hornets Nest. Struggled a little bit with an up and down round at Bradford, but finished strong to keep his lead intact. So we'll see if he can put together one more good round here and take this one down.
Looks like he puts a great move on this disc, and he is going to funnel all the way to the basket. What an incredible drive to start his final round. I know he's feeling good about that.
Yeah, that's a great shot for Paul, picking up right where he left off. Might be one of the best shots you'll ever see on this hole. Anthony Anselmo, first time we're seeing him on coverage. The lefty, only 4 hands, only lefty. This kid is an absolute animal. Currently plays for UNC Chapel Hill, and this is looking like a great shot as well.
Yeah, Anthony Anselmo, no stranger to some tight woods golf. He's one of the best players in the Carolinas. Let's take another look at this shot.
Yeah, deep hyzer release, just great angle control from the kid here. Gets the full flight out of the disc and just barely catches that last tree, but he'll have a great 20-25 footer there in circle 1.
All right, Nathan Queen back on the lead card again. Lefty with the power, smooth control.
Just pulls that one a little bit, catches a tree on the left side of the fairway, so he's going to have a bit of a scramble. And rounding out our lead card, Adam Cruz, another local. Been playing this course for years. Came forward from Ultimate Frisbee, as you can see by the form. And I'm sure he's feeling a little bit of nerves. First time on coverage for him as well, but I'm sure he's looking to attack as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's probably stoked to be on the lead card finishing out this event, and he almost puts it through the gap there. Gets the double kick, but he'll have a reasonable upshot. And there is our gallery watching for the day. Really a very fun tournament and a great way to start the year off once again.
All right, so scramble here for Adam, looking to save a par. Pretty open upshot here for a low flex forehand. That's well executed. He should have a short putt.
Yep, that's another day on the job for Nathan Queen. He'll be tapping in, and here's Anselmo for his 2.
Yeah, this would be a great birdie to start his round, especially with Paul also putting for birdie. Right-handed putter is Anthony, but usually pretty consistent from inside circle 1. That's a no-doubter.
Yep, right through the heart of the chains. Great putt to start his round. bit of an interesting form, but he's so good with it, very consistent, and shows why he's out here as the top card.
And yeah, see Uli tapping in there. The guy was 2 feet away. Got to be one of the best drives this hole has ever seen, as Adam kind of had an awkward angle there, going with the straddle putt a bit off. He's going to drop a stroke early.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, had a good upshot, and would like to capitalize, but hey, you just move on and keep going.
Yep.
Okay, we are back to hole 2 here. Once again, we're throwing over the water. It's a beautiful scenic shot. You can take the wide hyzers, both backhand hyzer or forehand hyzer. Some people will elect to go straight up the middle. We got about almost 300 feet to the pin, 250 to clear to the water, and this one is always framed up for what could be an ace run also.
Yeah, it is right there. You want to give it the ace run, but you also know that the pine straw is pretty slick and you can find the backside of that green pretty quick. So I think everybody on this card would be happy with a nice drop into and an easy birdie. We'll see how they choose to attack it, though. Uli up first. We saw him stripe this one in round 1. This looks like a bit of an early release.
Yeah, he's throwing that Z ringer. This time it fades out on him a little early. Maybe didn't commit fully to just piping it all the way.
Yeah, so door open for Anthony to pick up a stroke early. This is looking like a great line if it misses the last tree.
That is just perfect. Can't really draw it up better than that. Great flick from Anthony over the water.
Yeah, nice soft hyzer from the kid. Only has really that one tree to contend with going this route, and able to just barely squeak by it, and never really a doubt that that one was going to end up right under the basket. Nathan Queen going with the lefty backhand line. Pulls this one a little bit, but might have just snuck through. We'll take another look from the catch cam.
Yeah, I think he's got such ultimate control with that putter. He knows it's going to fade here, and he catches the good gap, slides right up to the basket.
Adam Cruz going to go forehand, trying to follow that line. Nathan Queen tuck. This one is heading towards the water, though. It's got to sit down.
Just doesn't give it enough width, and catches the bad skip into the pond.
Yeah, so he'll have to head. I believe this green is just playing as normal OB rules, so he will be putting from where the disc last crossed inbounds for par. Uli with a good run through the trees from deep C2. Unable to connect. Adam unable to connect as well.
Nathan Queen with a solid birdie there, and Anselmo is right behind him. And at this point, if you get 2 birdies in a row, you're feeling really good, and you're ready to keep building on that momentum.
Yeah, heading into a pretty difficult hole. Hole 3, par 4, 590 feet. Strange shape here, almost doing a U-turn to the right. Most players are going to try to throw something through this gap that's drifting from left to right. If you have the righty forehand, you can sometimes get a big skip and land this drive all the way down at this bridge in the gully. That'll set up another left to right moving shot into the green. If you get caught early, players are left with a decision. Do they want to lay up to this fat part of the fairway, or do they want to try to cut the corner through the trees? We'll see if anybody is in that position on this lead card.
Yeah, and in round 1, we saw a lot of people cutting that corner, so could happen again.
We'll see. Is that a foreshadowing?
Oh, man. Anselmo actually gets sneaky through the trees. And I see you shaking your head there, thinking, how's he so lucky? But
I think he's also thinking, how's he so lucky, by the look on his face right there. But definitely knows he got away with one there. We'll see if he can capitalize on that opportunity. Nathan Queen, similar line, not a similar result. Gets caught up, and he is going to be in a very difficult spot down there, scrambling to the right.
Ulibarri with that patented flick. Looks like he doesn't keep it straight long enough. And both Queen and Ulibarri are probably wishing they had Anselmo's luck. But That's what happens when you're not 19. Okay, Adam Cruz throws.
Just struggling so far. He's going to be aggressive here, try to get some back, but unfortunately not able to pull it off. Yuli's going to try to cut the corner again here. He was able to pull it off in round 1, and he does it again through the entire woods.
Yes, there.
He's got that part of the fairway's number. Good for him. Way to execute. Queen's got an awkward tree here in front of him. Looks like he's able to manage it well. And gets some tree kicks.
Yeah, that's kind of the potential issue with cutting that corner is you can drop down into kind of nowhere land and not really have much to work with. Anselmo able to take advantage of the opportunity and the gift he was given. Puts himself to 2 feet. It's going to be a turkey to start for the kid.
Yeah, that's incredible for Anselmo. Looks like Adam Cruz has a pretty good forehand up there.
Yeah, should have a chance to save par from where he's at. Nathan Queen got a very awkward scramble of his own and just catches something on the way out. Looks like it fought through though, so he should be putting for par.
And Paul Ulibarri picking up where he left off the last 2 rounds, connecting on a lot of deep circle 1 putts, showing you why he's one of the best putters out there on tour and in the game of disc golf. Once again,
Basically did it 2 rounds in a row, or 2 rounds with a round in between.
exactly.
2 crazy shots either way.
All right, here's hole 4. We've got a standard power straight to hyzer finish shot. We're going to want to get through this fairway in between these 2 dark trees here. You want to fade out into this next gap here on the left. If you go too straight, you're OB in that path. Then you've got some decisions to make. Typically, you'll see players use the forehand in on this green. Sometimes you'll see a backhand. And one thing you always got to keep in mind is that this green and this slope are very tricky. You can hit and get a roll OB into that path and parking lot at any time. So let's see how our card does.
Anselmo up first. All birdies for him on the scorecard. Going to go forehand here. That is looking really nice if it hooks up around the corner.
Has a lot of power on his forehand and control and touch. There's Ulibarri. Pulls it over to the right a little bit, just like he did in round 1, but the disc is more stable this time. He should be in a decent position.
Yeah, plenty of room out there on the right if you need to swing it wide, but not quite this much room. That one's left too wide from Nathan Queen. He's going to be in most likely a tough spot from over there.
Good looking drive from Adam Cruz. That should be in a good position.
Yeah, that's a great looking shot. Hopefully that'll get Adam back on track. Bit of a rough start for him as we see Nathan Queen's disc finding the out of bounds, and they're going to try to figure out where his lie is. Going to have a pretty long shot into the green here, probably close to 400 feet with a low ceiling.
Throws it into the ground, but catches some edge. We'll see how close he is to the green. Doesn't look like he got too far, too close. Have to pitch up for a bogey probably. Here's Anselmo. After a great forehand drive, he's throwing a forehand up on the lefty, so it's like a turning shot that has to gently finish, and he does it really well. Ulibarri takes the standard Raptor approach. Then we'll have to see if he stayed on the green.
Yeah, tough thing about this upshot is it is somewhat blind. You can't really see where your disc is landing, so a lot of the time you just kind of have to throw and hope you don't roll, as we see looks like Adam Cruz's disc there. Took a bit of a roll, but did stay in bounds. So he'll have a long birdie putt coming back up the hill. Nathan Queen just going to pitch up there, concede the bogey.
Gives it a nice soft bid. It was close.
Ulibarri now for 3 birdies in a row. Looking at a circle's edge putt, slightly uphill.
Puts a little too much pace on the Anheuser angle, but a great way to run that putt and almost drops it. Here's Anselmo for his bird. There he goes.
What a start for Anthony Anselmo. 4 down through 4.
Yeah, you have to wonder if Ulibarri's feeling any of the heat right now. Anselmo's just looking, and that's okay. Shake that off there, Adam. But Anselmo's looking just kind of like Terminator, just robotic, you know, in a good way. Like, nothing's phasing him. He's attacking these holes, putting himself in position to birdie every time.
Yeah, I mean, started out this round with a 2-stroke deficit to Paul, and he's already made it up. So we got a tie ball game, 4 holes in, which I don't know if Yuli expected, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously plenty of golf left. It's not like he's going to shoot 18 down or anything. But
yeah, but Yuli knows he's got to put the pedal to the metal now. I'm sure he's got that in the back of his mind. So let's see how he performs from here on out.
For sure. Taking a look at hole 5 now. Par 4, 584 feet. Much more attackable now that one tree fell down. That was just right of the tee pad. Wide open tee shot. Players are looking to just blast a drive out into these couple trees the drone is about to fly by. As long as you land anywhere in the grass, you're going to be inbounds and looking at a pretty reasonable 200 or so foot upshot into the green.
Anthony going with a pretty big distance shot here, it looks like, on the forehand, and that's really well executed. He'll be in birdie zone all day long. Take a slow-mo look here. Great forehand form. If anybody's trying to learn how to throw forehands at a high level, then you'd want to take some notes on Anthony Anselmo for sure.
Angle control is second to none, so he's going to be in a perfect spot to attack for birdie. Yuli's looking to mimic that route. Takes the nice soft hyzer, brings it back into the fairway. It's going to be in a great spot for him.
Yeah, certainly a good throw from Ulibarri as well. Nathan Queen throwing that gentle turn, distance driver. Doesn't look thrilled about it.
Yeah, everybody looking like they're in positioning, but an awkward lie for Nathan Queen. Finds himself in this gully with some rocks at his feet, but able to make it work. Slides himself up inside the circle for a birdie putt.
Good upshot by Ulibarri. Continues to put the pressure on Ulibarri. The young guy has just dotted many a basket so far.
Long putt for Adam Cruz, knocks it down. Grabbing his first birdie of the round. You love to see that one drop for him.
Yeah, good job, Adam. That's a great little step putt there from outside of the circle. Good job. Just a little off, and he knows that's gonna count. Gotta make those, and Ulibarri sneaks it in, but like they say, there's no pictures on the scorecard, and that's a good putt. That's still a good enough putt for him to keep going.
Yeah, and with those 2 birdies from these guys, it's starting to look like a bit of a 2-horse race. Got these two guys tied at the top now, starting to pull away from the rest of the card. We'll see if Queen or Adam can get themselves back into this thing.
For sure. And here we are on hole 6. One of the easier holes. Well, yeah, one of the easier holes on the course for sure. We're just throwing this standard straight to hyzer finish shot, and only about 333 feet. Sort of feels shorter, to be honest. And you'll see these guys play this really well, I'm sure.
Yeah, only one that's going to have to deal with some difficulty is Nathan Queen with that lefty backhand, having to drag it in. But for the rest of these guys, this should be a pretty standard stock shot with a stable fairway driver. Anselmo up first. This is looking like it's on a nice line.
Ulibarri matching Anselmo's line, maybe a little lower, a little more direct. Gets caught up on the tree. That's the only thing that can get you on this hole, is you do have to squeak by that one set of tree right there. He gets the unlucky hit on the tree. Cruz is going to leave this a little inside, but looks like he sneaks up to at least the edge of the circle.
Yeah, you got around that last tree, so should have a putt either way.
And Nathan Queen threw this perfect in round 1, and it looks like he does it again.
That is such a high level of difficulty shot to get that late drift.
Yeah, and it really does. And I almost feel like for him, it's almost easy because he's so good at it.
He's been doing it for so long too that just a no-brainer. And Adam Cruz starting to look like these circle 2 putts are no-brainers.
There
That's
you
back-to-back
go.
from 45 for him. Back-to-back birdies as well.
Yeah, he's showing you why he got on his lead card the first 2 rounds. Had definitely a rocky start. Wasn't feeling the best, but he's just hit 2 big putts in a row. So good for you, Adam. Here's Ulibarri. This is an important putt to keep pace with Anselmo.
Close, just a little low for Paul. Maybe got big putted a little there by Adam. Happens to the best of us. Nathan Queen knocks down a nice one from circle's edge for his birdie, and Anselmo kind of similar spot here, 25-footer.
And that's a big putt from Anselmo. Sort of takes the lead now. Is that correct?
That's correct. 6 for 6 start.
Wow.
For the kid out of Hornets Nest is kind of unreal. But I guess when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah, he's doing well. And, you know, I doubt Ulibarri's even phased right now. He's probably feeling just fine, ready to keep going.
Yeah, experienced players know this front 7 on this side of the park is the scoreable part of the course you want to start out.
Yes.
Hot if you're going to score well in the entire round. Taking a look at the last of that front 7. Hole 7, par 4, 571 feet. Backhand or forehand both play. You might see guys go for the roller. You just want to make sure you're on one of the 2 sides of this clump of trees about halfway down the fairway to set up some left or right movement shot into the green. A ready forehand plays well to get that little bit of extra skip through the gap, but we've seen guys make a couple different things work depending on the line you get after your tee shot.
Hard shot for a lefty forehand. Let's see how he executes.
Looking for a really late drift in the flight, ever so softly to the right. This one looks a little high. He's going to need to get lucky.
Yeah, and if there was a hole that was going to give him trouble, it was this one. And we'll see if he stayed in bounds or not.
We'll see what he's able to do from there. Adam Cruz now. This is looking like a really nice forehand if it can find edge.
Yeah,
Do it.
buddy.
Inches from coming back in bounds, but just doesn't quite get the roll he needed.
Yeah, and that's got to be a little bit of a heartbreak after having 2 great putts in a row. He's feeling confident. He stripes a forehand, but it just turns just ever so too much for him. And Nathan Queen showing us what he does best. Throws a great power straight to hyzer shot. Ulibarri knows the door's open for him a little bit. Let's see how this shot works out for him. Looks like it's going to be at least decent, given a chance.
Yeah, he's on the right side of the fairway, kind of pinched. Still a good amount of distance into the green. He's going to have to throw a big forehand here to get a look. All of 400. maybe 420 feet into the green from back here.
Yeah, it's a great angle on that disc. Stripes the gap, pushes. Very well done.
Yeah, what a shot from Paul. Adam now from after going out of bounds.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Looks like a good line from him as well.
All right, look at that.
Taking a look at that start from Anselmo, all green for the kid. Still haven't gotten to his drive yet either. But first, Nathan Queen splitting some trees. Gonna need a skip.
Left a little on the bone, more than he wants, but that'll be certainly a scoreable putt still. And Anselmo had a good shot.
Yeah, he was testing that OB, but fortunate break to stay in bounds, and he's going to be in a great spot from after it. Just a nice, easy pitch up for him.
Yeah, it was hard to tell how good his drive was, but he's actually way down the fairway. And he's throwing his putter. I'm assuming it's a heart. Puts a good move on it. And wow, there it goes again.
The 7 for 7 start can't really dream it up much better than that at Hornets Nest, as Nathan Queen just a bit wide.
Yeah, and that's 2 putts right there that Nathan's missed on for birdies, and feels like it's maybe getting away from him, but Ulibarri connects once again after a big throw, makes it count by hitting the putt, and that's such an important factor of being a great player.
Yeah, Paul struggled off the tee on the par 4s, but has made up for it on his second shot. Just hanging around, keeping himself in it. It's going to be a couple par tap-ins here for Queen and Cruz. And Anthony Anselmo is going to leave these first 7 holes perfect. 7 down through 7.
Yeah, he's got that straight face. He's keeping the poker face strong. He's a silent assassin right now, and he's killing the course. So we're here on hole 8. This is a fun hole. We got to miss this tree that we're coming up on right now. Get to this gap here on the left and give ourselves a look. Usually a little bit of a tricky upshot. There's this big hill right here that's pretty tall, and you got to throw over it into this gap and get yourself onto the green. Big thing is, can you keep the disc straight off the tee and give yourself a look for the upshot.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive the guys decide to get here. Anselmo obviously up first. Just got to miss the one tree in the middle of the fairway, really. Either side will do the trick.
Oh, buddy, the first blemish in his game so far.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad miss for him, to be honest. Hitting that tree on the right side is not really one that usually comes into play. So now Yuli is just kind of, maybe can finally exhale. A bit of a sigh of relief, like, okay, the kid is, he's human. And
It's an exhale, but it's also a call to action. He's going to try to stripe this shot, and it looks like he does.
yeah, going with a little bit of a flex shot on the inside line. Super aggressive with the overstable disc to get the flare around the corner.
Wow. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't see people get that far up this fairway very often.
Especially on the pure gap, too. Like, he's not cutting the corner at all. That is straight down the fairway. Perfect timing on the fade of that disc. And, yeah, that's going to be a routine up and down for Yuli from there.
Now, he is throwing probably a nuke or something very fast, so if you're going to do it, you're going to have to use a disc like that. And he did it well. Nathan gets a little bit of a tree kick. Adam Cruz, he's inside. Not the best throw.
Yeah, 3 players getting caught up early on this one is not what you're looking for. So he's going to have to pitch to the fairway. Queen's got a long look because he's out here behind the short tee, so probably 400 feet into the green. If he can push at all through the gap and over the hill, he's going to be happy to put himself in a spot for an easy par.
Yeah, Queen's collecting himself. He knows that he's still got a chance at this if he can start stringing together some birdies.
Looks like a good line.
Yeah, and he answers the call himself. He'll give himself a putt. Yeah, and Anselmo's got to get a little funky here.
Yeah, got caught up early, so still quite a bit of distance. If he can just get through the initial gap
Yeah, looks like he had a really tight window. Hit it and gives himself a chance to at least get up and down for par. You know, not a huge mistake.
Yeah, we're finally to Yuli's drive, just in the perfect spot. Baby flex forehand here into the green. Should do the trick. Fades out a little early, but it's going to be a putt.
Yeah, that's going to work just fine for him. And Anselmo making good on his scramble. Won't get away with anything worse than a par, more than likely. Cruz trying to give it a bid. And here's a big putt for Queen.
Yeah, it'll be great to scramble for the birdie here after being out of position, but just a bit low.
Yeah, that's the third one in a row for him like that. So I'm sure he's pretty having a hard time with that, but he'll be all right. Anselmo, on the other hand, hits a very important 20-23 footer, as does Ulibarri.
Yep, so Yuli ties it back up at the top there after we see the first par of the round from Anthony Anselmo. Wow, this is already just such a great battle between these two guys, just going back and forth. Starting out this round on absolute fire. Cannot wait to see how this one finishes out. Final hole of the front nine, hole 9, 310-foot par 3 downhill the whole way. These guys are just throwing putters right at this thing. You can either go for the baby flex line that we'll probably see Yuli go with. You can go with the hyzer flip up, touchier shot that we'll probably see Nathan Queen go with, or you can see something in between. We'll see how these guys decide to attack it.
Yeah, it's one of the easier holes on the course, but you'll be amazed how often you don't get it.
Paul looking to go for that forehand, trying to drag it over from right to left.
I do like this play. Looks like he executes pretty well and should have a putt.
Yeah, looks like got through clean most of the way. We'll see if the distance was right. Anthony gonna look to do something similar.
He stripes that forehand, puts a little extra move on it at the end, but gets a bit of a unlucky kick at the end. Still in a putt.
Yeah, probably gonna be about 40 short from where he was.
Queen gets a turn, keeps turning. Looks like
That's a nice shot. See if Adam Cruz can get one back here. This is right side, but kind of looks like he found the sneaky gap.
there he goes. One of the better drives of the bunch. Showing us that he's got good control with that putter or mid-range he's throwing there on a little bit of a baby hyzer flip. That's a good shot from Adam Cruz. All right, here's Anselmo with an important circle 2 putt.
Yeah, 50-footer or so. Got to straddle around the tree. See if he can give it a go.
Almost catches the drop and just flops off the edge of the cage. But a good bid. And now Ulibarri knows this would be a big one to hit.
Yeah, kind of a similar distance. Not really much closer, out in the 45-foot range. He's had a couple of these earlier in the round. And
Knew it straight out of the hand. No harm, no foul. They'll go scratch for scratch on this hole.
yeah, going to be tied up going into the back nine at the top. See if Adam Cruz can pick one up on our leaders.
There you go. That's a very solid putt. He is a good putter, known for being a good putter here locally in Charlotte. So, showing you some good putts this round for sure.
Yeah, making a couple long ones. Nice to drop that one in, and his front nine on a high note. Nathan Queen's going to do the same.
There you go. He's back on the board.
Solid putt for him. Puts him back in contending range. Going to have to take a very hot back nine to get him back in contention for the lead, but you never know. A lot of stroke swings available.
Yeah. Ulibarri with a little bit of a tester here. Nah, no test for him, or rather he passes it clearly. And he's been hitting those putts all tournament. So good for him.
Yeah, tap in par for Anselmo as well. And yeah, that was just a crazy front nine we just saw from the kit.
For sure.
7 for 7 on Hornets Nest is not something you see every day.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what he's able to do the rest of the way.
Right. So that was a really fun front nine there, Nathan. We've got ourselves a battle going into the back nine. And as We know the back nine of this course a good bit more treacherous. Let's see if our players can continue staying hot or if some are gonna simmer down. But either way, we got ourselves a fun battle coming up.
Yeah, 9 more holes at this year's Charlotte Roar, first A tier of 2026. Make sure to hop over to the back nine and subscribe to Greatest Media Team's YouTube channel. For Tyler Wozniak, I'm Nathan Johnson. We'll see you over there.
See you guys.